Hello! So today I decided to do a little work with me video. I'm hoping for this to be one of those like longer videos that you can watch while you're getting some work done. I love watching those kind of videos. You're gonna have to excuse me. There is stuff in the background because this is where I live. We live in a 42-foot fifth wheel with 3 kids, so it's not gonna be spotless and you might see a little bit of a mess. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. If you're here to judge me on my cleaning habits, then this might not be the video for you. But generally, it's fine. I just wanted to mention, yes, I have dishes to do from breakfast, but the baby is at the park with dad, and so are the other 2 kids, so I have very little time to get stuff done. So we're gonna get it done, and then we can clean later when they come home. So, I need to figure out a good setup. I'm going to do some pictures, and I'll just kind of chat with you while I do that. So, I have, let me grab them. I have 2 boxes of shoes from a liquidation. Let's get our hair up because we're getting ready to work. I did a liquidation, or I bought a liquidation lot of 150 pairs of Xero shoes. It's Xero. They're like a barefoot slash minimalist shoe. And when I saw those, I knew I needed to grab them because they sell pretty well, and I'm always looking for them myself, so we might have bought a couple from the business. So I have 2 boxes, and they're not very full because I grabbed the boots because I want to get those listed first. So I probably have about 10 pairs here, but I just need to get them photographed. Here is a pair. Looks like there is about 5 pairs of shoes in this box, so yeah, probably about 10 pairs, and if I can get all these photographed before the kids come home, that would be great. So I just have 2 little boxes to do, and I'm going to set up my photo station, I think, on this counter right here. Let's see. There's a lot of windows, like all back here, so I think that'll be good natural light. I don't know how I'm going to talk to the camera while using the natural light. We'll figure it out, though. So I'm going to put this box down here on the trash can and grab my really fancy photo setup. And by really fancy, I mean 2 tripod boards. Okay. One of them probably has my son's hot cocoa sale menu because he did a hot cocoa sale at one of the campgrounds we went to recently. There it is. It was around Halloween, so he drew a pumpkin. And this says sale. And then it has this little menu right here. It was very cute. That is not helpful to me, so we're going to turn it over. And it is a little dirty on the back. So let's use, hold on. We'll use the bottom of that, like this, and then you won't be able to see me, but we're going to do that. And let's see how that looks. Let's try to get it set up so it makes more sense. What do we think? I think that looks good. Let me move the camera a little bit. Alright, we're working with what we got here. This box is going to be in the way. Let's move this over. We are a little bit chaotic because I have not taken photos in this trailer before, so I don't have a setup yet, and you can figure it out along with me. Oh look, that's gonna stay, that's nice. Alright, so there is this like coffee drip right here that I'm just gonna have to cover up whenever I take photos. And we will see if the lighting is good enough. Let me grab my first pair. So these shoes, if you've never heard of like barefoot or minimalist shoes, they're basically like very thin shoes, and they usually have a really wide toe box so that your feet can be like the way they're meant to be rather than squished like more modern shoes. So they generally retail for probably like around 125, give or take $10 or $20 depending on the style. And I just wanted to get the boots up first because it is winter and people are going to want boots. Where did I put my phone? Okay. So I guess I'll just talk to you while I take photos. Let me first, Let me first see if I can stay. You don't want to say, grab this huge board. There you go. I want this out. We're going to use props to prop things open. Because we're just doing our best. Okay. Now I'm sure you want to see the shoes and me at the same time while I'm talking to you. So I am not sure about the best setup for this, and I apologize for a chaotic video. But let me see, maybe I can just move this down a little bit. I don't have the right tripod tool to like tilt the camera down, so I have to move it down. right, let's try this. You cannot see the shoes. Now you can see my dirty sink, but you can see me in the shoes too. Okay, let's turn this a little bit more. There we go. I think we got it now. Okay, so reselling on the road is hard, as you can expect, living in such a small space. So our last trailer was 32 feet, so it was about 250 square feet, and we lived in there for almost a year with our 2 kids, and then us, and then 4 cats and a dog, and it was just not gonna happen. So I stopped reselling in 2020 when we did that. I started reselling a little bit part-time when we were living in our house that we bought, and I want to continue part-time reselling, especially now that I have a fulfillment company. I will link to them down below. They're called Reseller, and I just take photos, get everything drafted, and then I send them my stuff, and they store and ship it for me, so I don't have to try and keep it in our trailer. Our trailer is bigger now. We have a 42-foot fifth wheel, so it feels huge. I mean, it's still a small space for 5 people, but it feels huge, but I still don't have like a garage or anywhere to really store a lot of inventory to make it worth it. So I'm just cleaning my camera here. So it needs to be pretty part-time, and I need to be really mindful about what I'm buying and make sure that there's a little bit of padding for that extra overhead of having a fulfillment company ship for me. So there's that. But I love reselling, and I don't want to stop, even though it's not my main source of income. And it is a little bit time consuming, especially when you're on the road and everything's already time consuming and you're a business owner and you have a baby. So it's definitely a part-time thing, and I don't know that it'll ever be full-time again unless I settle down and get like a warehouse and make it like a big production, and I don't know that I want that. So I think part-time is it for me. But if I can make like $1,000 profit part-time, that is really my goal. How do we want to take shoot pictures, honestly? The sun is cloudy. Do this. Let's see how that looks. It's not like the brightest. I don't want to turn on a lot of lights because I like the natural light, but let's see if this works. Honestly, I've found that good bright pictures are good, but you don't have to have them perfect. I will show you what the pictures look like on the screen at this angle, and then I'll also show you what they look like brightened, because I brighten all of my pictures before I upload them. So I noticed that the camera is kind of like brightening my face and then turning down the brightness when I turn around. So sorry if it's like going crazy while I'm doing this, but I do need to take pictures of these shoes. So this pair, so I always do that kind of view in front. I will lay them down and get like a, for that scene, both the outsides, and then I'll lay them down again and get both the insides, and just make sure I get every single angle so that there are no disputes based on like condition or anything like that. And I love taking pictures of shoes because there's no measurements or anything crazy, and they're really easy to take pictures of. And then I need to take out one of these guys and take a picture of the brand or the style name and the size, and then we are done with that one. So that first pair down. I have not done like a chatty vlog like this, so I don't know what to talk about. I don't know. I don't know if this video is going to be very popular because it's not really what my channel is about. I'm usually like more of an instructional, like informational YouTuber, but I do want to just like get a little more casual. So I hate when they rubber band because it like leaves a little bit of a mark, but luckily there's no actual damage. There's a little bit of like glue right here, which I'll have to note. It's not too bad. All right, so let's take pictures of these ones. So I guess I could let's talk about our travel plans. So we sold our house at the beginning of September, and it's now mid-November. And we are spending the holidays here in California so that we can be with family for the holidays, obviously. Wait, did I not? See, now I'm gonna be talking and like forgetting what I took pictures of, so let me just redo these two. We want to spend the holidays with family before we head east. So we sold our house in Oregon, which we only lived in for a year and a half, but we got really lucky and we didn't want to get stuck with it because we knew that it wasn't big enough. and we wanted something else. We wanted more land and a slightly bigger house. It was about 1,100 square feet. But the main thing is we wanted more land, and it sucked to leave because we had such a good, like, we were in a cul-de-sac and our neighbors were amazing, and the kids were like best friends with the people. They were like around the corner from us, so our fence line met up, so they were always running over there on the weekends, and it was so sad to leave their friends. But we do want more land, and Oregon is getting really expensive, and we knew we could sell and get all of our down payment back. And we weren't sure that it was going to be that case in a year or 2 years, so we just wanted to get our money back. So we got all our money back, and now we have that money. We spent some of it on this trailer so that we wouldn't have any debt, and then we have a little bit left that we can put down on another house if we find something else. So we're going to the East Coast to maybe find something. It's just cheaper overall than the West Coast, and it sucks because all of our family is here, and we love living on the West Coast because we want to be in our family. But I don't have like $1.2 million to buy a 1 acre lot of land with a decent house. So to the East Coast we go. So we're going to be in Arizona. The plan is, which could always change, the plan is to be in Arizona in January for at least a couple of weeks, and then we will start heading east. And then both of our older kids were born in March, so we're going to try and be at Disney World in March. So in Florida in March. And then after that, we're going to head up a little bit, and we're going to be checking out North Carolina and Virginia for the most part. We're open to other places, but for the most part, that's what we're going to check out as far as finding land. I'd like to find like at least 2 acres. More would be great. But we're not in a rush at the moment. Although we're really terrible, and we tend to, when we want to buy a house, we tend to like panic buy. Almost like we just like really commit to it, and then we find something quickly, which I don't want to do this time. So hopefully we can just like hang out in like North Carolina and Virginia and see what there is and what areas we like, and just be chill for like a year. So I'm hoping we don't buy anything until 2024, but we'll see what happens. Something amazing might come up. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, we are now officially full-time, which I'm excited about, and I'm more excited about it now because we are in a larger space that is way more doable. Before, we just like, it was beyond cramped, and every day that we had to travel, we would have to just like throw things in boxes and like put it on the bed or under the dining table, and there just wasn't enough storage space for just like basic living stuff, and we're pretty minimalist, so that's saying something. So in this one, we have a lot more space to just live and store items, and we're still pretty minimalist, but at least it's more comfortable. All right, I've done 3 so far. I usually work a lot faster when I'm not blabbing, but I don't know. All right, 3 pairs. I think there's 2 more pairs in here. This is a long pair. It looks like this one is a little bit damaged, so I will have to, so this pair, see how it has like these little eyelet? I don't know, but this one's missing. So I will have to note that in the listing. So I will take a specific photo of that as well. Let's do a sideways picture first. I think these retail for like $125, $150, so I'm thinking I should be able to get at least $50 for them. So I'm not too worried about it. If I can sell everything for, I think I calculated it when I initially bought the, how am I gonna do this? The liquidation lot. And I should be able to profit close to, I don't remember now. The numbers made sense at the time. Let me think. Let me do this because now it's gonna bother me. Yeah, okay. So as long as I can sell every pair for at least $50, which most of them should sell for more than that, I will profit at least $5,000. So it was a really good buy, and they actually, the liquidation company I bought them from, I contacted them and they do have more. I just don't have the time to get to them to get more done. So I was hoping to get through these really quickly, so I could buy another pallet because I know they're going to sell really well, but I don't have time. So It is what it is. I don't remember if I took a picture of the bottom. No, I didn't, because there's like tape and schmutz on the bottom. Ugh. So I have to be okay with at least just getting these listed and making a profit on these, and then I will be able to source on the road at different bins locations once we start going. Alright, so we have one more pair. These ones are not boots, but I had room in the box, so I just grabbed them. They're like tied together so that they don't get separated, and I'm just going to leave them like that because I have a lot of them and I don't want them to get separated either. Let's just do a sideways picture. The great thing about this brand is that it kind of sells itself. Like, people really like this brand. They're really expensive. I mean, I guess it depends on your how much you spend on shoes, but to me they're really expensive. So I'm not worried about these selling. They might take some time. I don't know if I took a picture of the bottom. Usually I'm so good at like taking pictures of. Okay, let's do the middle. I hate when it's hard to get inside. Okay, there we go. Those ones we did. So we have 5 that we did, and we've only been filming for 16 minutes now. So this is probably gonna be like a 30-minute video. I don't know what to talk about now. Oh, so I do want to talk about. Alright, let me grab this other box first. So we got one box done. And let me grab this other box. Let me close this one first. My husband's like always cleaning up after me, so I'm just like so what's the word I'm looking for? Scatterbrained. And I will just like leave a box half open. Okay. I'm gonna close this box so it's nice and neat. I'm gonna tap this one on top. I do want to talk about Mercari. Do you sell on Mercari? Mercari. I have been selling on Mercari for a couple of years now, and I keep running into issues. And it's not even like really a Mercari issue, it's just issues around Mercari that I don't experience anywhere else. Like, oh, these are really big. Look at these. These like a size 14 or something. Yeah, size 14. Men's size 14. So I forgot the first issue I had with them just a while back. But then I got hacked, which was probably my fault. And that was annoying. Luckily they didn't get any of my money. I just could not access my listings. And then I finally got my account back. I think it took like a month to get my account back. And then now I cannot, I don't know what it is. I'm going to move this towards me a little bit more. I don't know what it is, but I can't access Mercari on my desktop. Like, whenever I try to sign in, it gives me an error, which makes it very difficult to sell on Mercari. So I just, for the 3rd time, have just like written Mercari off, and I think I'm just going to ditch it. I did look at my numbers for Mercari after selling on there for probably at least since 2019, off and on, and it's only maybe 5 or 10% of my sales, maybe 5%. It's very little. So I'm just going to ditch it. It's just not worth all the effort. So now I'm just selling on eBay and Poshmark. I just filmed a reseller sales report for last month. So I share my numbers every month. And I just filmed the run for last month, and I'm selling more items on eBay, but I'm selling them at a higher price on Poshmark. So I think I'm just going to stick with those two. They're doing pretty well. Did I take a picture of the front already? They're doing pretty well, so I think it's just going to be easier to focus on those two. So I'm going to be okay with that decision. Sometimes you just have to like accept that some things don't work out and drop things. This is a big thing that I talk about all the time, and I'm really bad at it, even though I kind of like preach it. And that is, let me make sure there's 2 pairs of these. Let me make sure these are the same size. Men's 12. Men's 12, okay. And that is that the best way to get everything done is to have less things to get done. And I know that sounds like, oh, obviously, like you would, if you have less stuff, then you don't have a lot to do and you can get everything done, right? But there are a lot of things that we don't consider that we can let go of. Like for me, Mercari is not that important. So that's one thing I can kind of just take off my mental plate and not have to deal with anymore. I'm such a serial entrepreneur that I always want to do like 10 different businesses, and I have to constantly just sit down, write down all of my obligations, personal and business, and just start crossing things off. So like recently, over the last year where I've been pregnant or had a newborn, I just wrote off making a ton of meals from scratch. And I like to make like organic, from scratch, vegetarian meals. Like that's how I prefer to feed my family. And I was barely surviving, just like getting through pregnancy and like trying to keep us afloat since I'm the main breadwinner and I need to get work done. So I was like, you know what? My husband can cook, which he does all the time. And we can just eat more convenience foods. I can get like frozen food and not have to cook everything from the fresh produce aisle, and that's fine. So just thinking of things that like you can just drop makes it so much easier and makes it so that you can do the things that are important to you so much better. So that was my little not so motivational talk. Tie these. So these are like men's snow boots. So this is a good time to get these up. All right. These pictures are not perfect, but they will do the trick. They're clear. They're bright enough. And for me, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm shopping and I see a stock photo, I actually click on stock photos less than I click on a photo that's obviously by someone else. Just because, I don't know, I just like, I wouldn't say I'm turned off by stock photos. It's just that I like to see the actual item when I'm scrolling through, and stock photos don't show that. All right, let's look at this. Let's see if I can get a picture right here. So do you guys use stock photos? I very rarely do. Unless it's an item that's really hard to show, like on a hanger, like to show myself. Sometimes I will go and grab a stock photo of it on a model and do that. Can I take a picture of the bottom already? I don't remember. So I'll probably use a stock photo like 5 to 10 times a year. So it's definitely not something that I do very often. Oh, I only have 2 more pairs left. So I really only have 9 to list. These are just so bulky that 9 filled up 2 of these little Home Depot boxes. Oh, I don't know if they're the same, but Home Depot boxes are superior to Lowe's boxes. We used to always use Home Depot boxes when we moved. One time we moved with Lowe's boxes and they all crushed. Like when we opened the moving truck, the Lowe's boxes just crushed. So there's your tip. Avoid Lowe's boxes unless you get like the double strength ones if you're going to be stacking them, like when you're moving. It was not good. All right. Just have 2 more pairs to do. It is, what time is it? It's about noon. It has been 23 minutes. And before this, I filmed something else. So they've been gone for about 40 minutes or so. I'm just trying to calculate this because I know that my baby is going to be hungry. He's 5 months old and he still would love to eat every hour. So it's usually every 1 to 2 hours still, which is fine with me, but I'm just trying to calculate when they're going to be coming back because he's crying. All right. Let's see pictures of this. And this actually makes me feel really productive. Where we are now, we are not far from family. This has like a splatter of dirt or something. All right, my camera cut off. So what I was trying to say is where we are now at this campground, it is not the nicest campground. It is like sandy and windy, but it's close to family. And we are part of the 1,000 Trails. We're part of 1,000 Trails, which is like a membership. If you go to 1000trails.com, if you're interested, you can look it up. But it's a membership where we get to stay for 2 weeks for free at their campgrounds. And then we just have to leave for a week. And then we go for 2 weeks again at another campground. So it's a really affordable way to full-time travel because otherwise you'd be paying basically a mortgage in just RV or campground fees. So this is the only one that's close to everybody. So we always end up here. It's kind of run down. The internet, like it's fine. The internet works. We can plug into everything. Like we are fine in our little house. It's just there's not like a lot of amenities. It's in Southern California in like the hills. So it's like dry and windy and dusty and it's just not the environment that we like. This is where we grew up. So we like trees and green and things that we just didn't have growing up. So it's not our favorite place, but it's close to family. So I think my mother-in-law said that she wants to come out and hang out with the kids for a little bit today. So So we'll see if that happens. If that happens, I might be able to get even more done. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to take a picture of the outside and the inside. I'm taking double pictures here because I'm talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. But this is definitely helping me get stuff done and be more productive, because the normal me would be like taking pictures and I'd be like, oh, I need a sip of coffee, and then I'd get distracted by the cat or the dog barking, and I would stop, and I am just very distracted. So this is actually really helping me. So let me know if you like this video, because if you do, I might do more videos like this. I didn't finish taking pictures of this. I'll do more videos like this. More chatty videos like this, because it is actually really helping me get work done. If I just have the photos done and can list these items, that is a great video for me. A great motivation to just stay productive, because I have to keep filming. So this has the rubber band mark on it too. So I think what I'm going to do, because I have like a month and a half before I need all of these out of my possession, and I don't necessarily want to pay my filming company to store all of them for me, because that is going to be like a huge amount of money, which I did account for that when I purchased them, that if I had to send them all to my filming company, it would be fine. I would still profit plenty. But I do want to sell as many as I can and save that little bit of money and just time getting it sent to them and, you know, shipping it to them and then them shipping them to customers. So I think these 9, I think I might start at like a lower auction, not like low. These I would probably list around 70 to 100 buy it now. So I might do like auctions for like 60 to 80 and see if I can just get some of them to move so that I can get things moving. I'm still profiting plenty. As like I said, as long as I sell everything for $50 or more, I'm making plenty of profit. So I think I might do that just to try and get things to move so that I can ship stuff out, get some of my money back and pay myself back, which would be nice. So I think I'm going to just, over the next day or so, just throw these up for auction, and maybe a couple of them will sell, and then whatever doesn't sell I will put up as a buy it now for the price that I want for them, and go from there. So let's see. This is probably the last reselling I'm going to be able to do for the next, like getting these up is probably the last thing I'm going to be able to do for reselling for the next week or so, because it's Friday now and next week is Thanksgiving and we're going to Big Bear for Thanksgiving for a couple of days. So I'm going to be out of town with family and I'm not going to try and like bring reselling stuff with me. I'll still be able to do like other work like freelancing and writing for my clients and all that, but I'm not going to bring a bunch of stuff with me, I don't think, because I want to be able to like spend quality time with family. So we are officially done taking pictures of everything. That is so exciting. All right. I just have not, let me move this since I'm packing this up now. Just with moving and everything, I have just not been doing a lot of reselling work, and I miss it. Like, I really do. I have not gone to a thrift store. It's mid-November. I have not gone to a thrift store since sometime in September. No, I went in October a couple of times, I think. But it's just, I don't have the space and I have stuff to list. So that's the problem. And also maybe the helpful thing about being in such a small space is like it forces me to not have a death pile. When I had a garage and like a huge house to fill up with stuff, like it was easy to just throw things to the side and go sourcing again. But I can't do that right now. I can do it a little bit because I'm storing some stuff in my sister's house. But when we're really in here and everything, my dog's trying to come in, hold on.
You want to come in?
Okay, now you're gonna hear her like walking around, but this is a vlog and this is real life, and now she's bouncing the camera when she walks around. But yeah, that's the good thing about living in such a small space is it forces me to list things and not source things that I'm not going to want to list. So it really, I think it's gonna be good. Like I'm excited, excuse me. I'm excited to, what was I trying to say? You distracted me. I'm excited to really get on the road. So right now we're with family. I'm staying at my sister's house about half the time and then in the trailer about half the time, just so we don't overwhelm them, but we want to be around them so the kids can be with their cousins and all that stuff. But when we leave in January and start heading to Arizona and then going east, we will be like really in here and not have like my sister's house to rely on if I get a pallet of stuff. Like I can't get a pallet of stuff. I have to just like buy things in little amounts, store them here until I can get them to my fulfillment company and all that. So that'll be nice. It'll just like force me. I just enjoy being forced to be efficient, because if I'm not forced to, I will not be efficient. Let's just say that. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm the type of person where like, if there's a deadline, I will work really well the hour before the deadline, but like the 3 days before, I don't work very well. So hopefully that will help me kind of be organized and more productive and efficient. All right, so I think I'm gonna end it here. It's only been about half an hour, but I think it'll be good. Let me know if you like videos like this where I'm just kind of like chatting with you while I'm getting work done. I do expect that my family will show up soon and I'm kind of hungry for lunch. So I'm gonna go make some food and see if I can get a meal like all by myself before everybody shows up. Otherwise, I'm gonna feed some kids. I will see you next time. Again, comment down below if you like to see videos like this, if this is something that you wanna, my dog's whining because someone's walking by. If this is the type of video that you want to see more often, I can do them a couple times a month while I get some work done and maybe you get some work done with me. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.